Welcome, Sagittarius, to your June 2021 reading. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If this is the first time you've tuned in, I offer free mini readings for all new subscribers. So if you've got a question about this particular reading or something that this reading doesn't cover for you, just click the subscribe button and ask your question in the comments below. Now, I get back to everybody who subscribes, so don't worry if you don't hear from me right away. Now, this is a general reading, Saggy, so take what resonates and let what doesn't go. Now, starting out your reading, I am absolutely loving the energy here. You've got the 9 and the 10 of Pentacles. You've got money flowing in abundance in June. Excuse me. Now, the 9, this is a wish come true card. It really is. The 9 of Pentacles talks about success, luxury, self-nurturing. This isn't prosperity that's just been handed to you. You've worked for this and you've earned this, Saggy, through long hours of work and hard work, and you deserve some rest and relaxation in June. And this card does talk about that. So some of you may be going away on holidays, you might be having a break, just taking some time out, but this is just beautiful, wonderful energy. Now, this can also talk about people who are getting close to retiring. And that doesn't mean that you are at retirement age. You may have just earned sufficient amounts of money to be in a position to retire. Or, stop working if you choose to. And this card really shows that if you want to go into business for yourself, or you want to pursue another line of work where you're actually working for yourself, this is a really good time to do it in June. You've just got this wonderful financial energy here. Now, this is also a card of quiet reflection as well. If you're going away on a holiday, on a well-deserved break, you might be reflecting on your life and where you are up to this point, particularly in a financial sense here, because this is Pentacles, but just your life in general. And it's like you've learned the difference between being on your own and in solitude and enjoying it and having it a pleasant experience, as opposed to feeling lonely. So this is the difference here that you've learned, and you really might enjoy your time in nature, just going outside, going for a walk. You don't need to be with other people to be happy here. But this is a card of happiness and success, as I said. So wonderful energy starting out June. And then there is the 10 of Pentacles. Wow, I love this too. This is a card of financial security. You've achieved it, Saggies. You're really happy. It's making you feel secure and happy, and you've got strong family connections. You know what? You've got 2 10s here, the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups, 2 of the most wonderful cards in the deck. 10s are the final culmination of all of your hard work. It's like an ending to the cycle, so to speak. And just going back to the 10 of Pentacles, this is like a focus here on your family wealth as well. And knowing that your children are going to be financially secure and they've got the material comforts that they need as well. You can provide for your family, and you are set up well financially. Your home and your hearth, it's really important to you, Sag. And when this card comes into a reading, everything is just feeling right, and you've earned the right to be really proud of yourself here. Um, this can also talk about inheritance of some sort. But it's definitely a successful completion in something you have been striving for financially, or with your home or something like that. Things are coming to a happy end here for you. Now, you've got some disappointment I can see there. Emotionally, there has been a few little upsets, but I feel like this can, you've got a few star signs showing up here. So there could be a Scorpio, there could be an air sign here, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. There's also an Aries here, there's also a Taurus here. So there's a few people showing up, so you know who's who in your life, so take what resonates here. But there is this Five of Cups, and what this card talks about is often you can't see what is best for you. And if things don't always turn out in the way that you'd envisioned or the way that you'd like they would, but it's like the universe kind of knows what's best for you. And even if you don't see the path that is laid out for you, it's happening for this kind of stuff is happening for a reason. And what you actually are focusing on is the negative here, and you're not able to see, which is quite normal, particularly if we have had some disappointment or some emotional pain. You aren't able to see the positives from this. But often in the traditional imagery of the Five of Cups, you see a figure standing in front of some spilled wine, but behind that figure there are two cups filled to the brim with emotion. There's also, a beautiful road that leads to an amazing castle, an amazing future. And because the focus is on the spilled cups, the figure is unable to see the reasoning behind why this disappointment has occurred. So I feel that in June, there is going to be this delving into this emotional upset and hurt, and perhaps finding out what actually went wrong and why, and shifting your focus from what went wrong to what went to what positives came out of that event is really going to keep you moving forward in the direction of your eventual happiness. So try and focus on that rather than that emotional disappointment from, and I feel like this is definitely from the past. I don't feel I feel like it's from the past, but it's still carrying forward. It's coming forward with you. Now, you've got the Seven of Wands there, and this is a lovely energy too here, but this is quite feminine energy. There could be a Leo around you, but what this card talks about is standing your ground and defending what you believe in. Now, this has two meanings here, so I'll let you decide what is significant for you. But this is that stand your ground card. And if there is something, and this could potentially have something to do with work, something that you're quite passionate about, if you believe in what you are fighting for, then you go for it. You fight to the death. But what this card also does ask you is to ponder your choices, and it asks you to really consider if the battle is worth the fight, because sometimes you can win the battle and you can slay your enemy, but then you look around you at the carnage and you actually think, was this worth the fight? And this card asks you to consider whether it would be better off letting go of your need to chase after this particular issue and instead just redirect your focus to something that you consider to be more important. And whichever choice you make, whether you stand your ground and you fight or you choose to let it go and put your energy elsewhere, it's going to make you stronger. Regardless of which one you choose. And when this card comes up in a reading, it's so funny. I feel like this same combination came out with another card. You've got this card which tells you if there is a decision to make the choice from the heart. But then you've got that Queen of Swords there, which tells you if there's a decision to make it from the intellect. Make it from your intellect. So I feel like there's this definite balancing act that is going on here for a few signs. And this could have been a Libra. I'm not sure. It's interesting. Queen of Swords can also represent a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarian. So some of you may have those signs in you, surrounding you as well. But definitely courageous energy there in that Seven of Wands, Saggies. You are quite willing to stand your ground for something you truly believe in there. Now, the Queen of Swords, as I mentioned, this is that card that really is about a very intellectual person. It's about balance. It's about getting it's about pondering, similar to the message of that Valor card. It's about really thinking about your options and releasing yourself from emotional clutter, removing yourself emotionally, cutting away all of the BS. That Queen really does give you that objective decision-making ability in June. So harness that energy, really just get rid of everything that doesn't serve you. This is a card of wisdom born from life experiences. So you have attained a level of knowledge and experience in your life that is going to actually be able to make you make the right decisions to move forward and to handle any situation that you come across here. And this can also represent a divorced person. Now, this is right next to the Emperor, so some of you may be divorced from an Aries or separated there. And this issue that the Queen of Swords is talking about, this drama that might be a little in your life a little bit, could have something to do with a past relationship here. But you are going to be able to see it for what it is and have real clarity and simplify any of that emotional clutter that you are carrying with you and move forward. It's wonderful energy here in this card. Now, the Emperor, as I have touched on quite a bit here, this is wonderful. This is powerful energy. This shows up when you might need a few rules and some organization in your life. The Emperor is great at taking control of a situation and putting a little bit of structure around your plans. And when you do that, you're going to be able to find it a lot easier to bring your dreams to life in the way that they intended. But this card also talks about the constructs of society that can make your life possible. The home, the roads, the infrastructure. It's that kind of energy here. And it's a card of leadership and integrity. So you might be taking the lead here and getting things together in your home, in your life, in your work. You are being the leader here. Now, this can also mean a father figure, someone in authority, a government official, someone like that in your life that is putting some rules and regulations down around your life as well that could be affecting you. But definitely when the Emperor shows up in a reading, it is asking you to take control, take the lead, and just take the lead and really stand up and be the boss, so to speak, which I feel like you're good at in a very diplomatic way, Saggies. I think you're very good at that. You're a fiery energy, so you fit quite easily in that Emperor energy. Now, the Hierophant. This is an interesting card as well. This is quite a spiritual card. Now, this talks about the constructs of tried and true ways of doing things and traditional roots. But the interesting thing about this card is it is a card of dualities. It is a card of black and white. And what this card talks about is it's often you're really asked to ponder your actions, I guess, and consider the implications of your choices as well. And this can ask you, on the one hand, to take the traditional, tried and true way of dealing with a situation and doing it that way, or it can actually ask you to buck tradition and think outside of the box and do things your own way. And the way to know which message is being presented is by looking at the other cards around it. And I feel like the other cards are kind of giving you these dual messages as well. That Seven of Wands. It's either stand your ground and fight, or consider your options and see whether it's actually worth the fight. The Seven of Wands is telling you to use your heart. The Queen of Swords is telling you to use your head. So you've got a lot of duality cards here, Saggy. And basically what that's saying is you are in control here. That Emperor, you are the boss, and you've got to decide what is best for you and which way is best for you to go. Now, what the Hierophant card also talks about, this is quite a heavily layered card in terms of meanings. This is talking about spending time with like-minded individuals as well. And you've got some spiritual gifts here too, Saggy, and you might even feel like you want to develop those, because the Hierophant is traditionally the Pope. I mean, that is a spiritual leader. You are maybe wanting to join some spiritual institutions or schools where you can grow with others and be around people that really feel the way you do about things. And this card also talks about, certain rules that have been imposed on you by society or by family that don't serve you anymore. And, you might be casting off all of that stuff, all of those constraints in favor of new guidelines that lead you toward the path that you want to go toward here. You don't have to listen to what everybody else does here, Saggy. You can choose your own path. And I feel like whichever choices you make in June, it is going to be wonderful because you've got that final card there, that 10 of Cups, and that is just such beautiful energy. It's a card that is just such good fortune. It's having it all, you know. You're emotionally blessed, you're content in your lives, your relationships are positive and affirming. You know, you've got healthy, strong relationships with your kids, and there's harmony with your friends, your family. Your emotions are being your emotional needs are being fulfilled as well, and you've got all that you need to be financially happy as well. Um, it's just wonderful. And this card can talk about you taking care of family members and also family members taking care of you. There's a lot of love around you when that 10 of Cups shows up. It's absolutely just, as I said, one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. Now, your final card is accepting what is. And this is from the Gateway Oracle deck by Denise Lynn. The imagery on these cards are so beautiful, but when you focus on them, they're just lovely. They speak to me a lot as well, but I'm going to read out the meaning here. Now, the affirmation for this card is, I accept and embrace my inner majesty. So say that over and over to yourself. Look at the imagery there. It's beautiful. This flower that is just blooming in front of you, and you imagine yourself as that flower. You are blossoming. So the meaning of this card is, accept your life in all its configurations. Know that every moment, situation, and event has profound value, even if it doesn't seem like it. Accept your inner majesty. Be present. You are magnificent and wondrous beyond measure. Embrace all parts of yourself. The universe wants you to know it is an act of both power and faith to love, honor, and accept what is. At times, it can be challenging to truly accept what's occurring in your life. When you do so, however, you affirm that there's a plan for your life and that everything is working for your highest good. Accepting what is doesn't mean that you can't work to change it, because you can. It does mean that there is gentle yet profound awareness that every experience can support your highest good and spiritual evolution. If there is something you just can't accept, start by gently acknowledging the fact that you can't accept it. As you increase your own acceptance in life, this will help others be at peace in their own lives. And that's quite a beautiful message. I feel like this is very much connected with that Hierophant card and the Seven of Wands there. Some of you might not be wanting to, and I feel like this is connected with that Queen of Swords in a way as well. Cutting out the drama, cutting out the BS, accepting what is. But just know, Saggies, that June is just looking wonderful. You have emotional fulfillment, financial security. It's a lovely month. So I hope that resonated with you, and I hope that you tune into my readings next month as well. Bye.